Yeah, we will. Very good. Good morning. We will start now. Just so hope my screen is visible, right? Play chart. Yeah. Play chart. Is my screen visible? Yeah, Himanshu. Very good. So we will start with again second unit. The second unit is antigen and antibody. Okay, it is dealing with the acquired immunity because in first lecture, yeah, first unit, we have completed about what is immunity and what is innate immunity and what kind of factors associated with innate immunity, what are cells, molecules that are correlated related with innate immunity. So in the first unit we had completed about immunity because it two type innate immunity, adaptive immunity. We have almost completed innate immunity, right? In second unit there is total in the second unit there is total introduction to adaptive immunity. So in the adaptive immunity we have started with the first one is antigen. Okay, in the antigen we will be discussing about what is antigen, what is properties of antigen. Okay, now epitope, now types of epitope, then we will go for hapten, then we will complete with adjuvant. So this much topic is in your antigen. Then after we will go for antibody. In the antibody we will be discussing about structure of antibody, classes of antibody, yeah, types of antibody, antibody diversity. Then completion of antigen antibody we will be discussing about because we have some knowledge about antigen and some knowledge about antibody, not some exactly, we have enough knowledge of antigen and vast knowledge on antibody. And though you know the properties, structure, classification of antigens, antibody, then we will dive into more deeper into antigen antibody interaction. So in that is the most important topic, antigen antibody interaction. Now that is most relevant and more important topic of this scenario in the present situation, because most of the kits, whatever the diagnosis kits, either that may detect the corona, that may detect dengue, or whatever the kits are there present, mostly these disease diagnosis kits are basing upon antigen antibody interaction. Mostly, okay, they are mostly, not all, but mostly they are basing upon the antigen antibody interaction, whether they are the what you call the rapid kits, okay, that is basing on affinity chromatography or antigen interaction. So be patient and be present in the second unit throughout the second unit. Don't miss. Hopefully we may conclude the online lecture. What we don't know what of the scenario going on. Anyway, hopefully we will go and meet in the very soon. We will meet in the what you call in the offline class in the lecture room. But okay, now this is the the very simple question: what is antigen? I will wait for 2 minutes. Anyone can chat. What is antigen? Please, I'm waiting. If anyone want to tell, they unmute themselves and talk to me as well. That is most appreciable. you can chart in short form. That is also permissible. You can chart in short form. Production antibody and react with antibodies. Very good. Okay. Vishal also same. Yeah. Area specific antibody and reaction specific reaction. Very good. Chemicals which produce specific antibody react. Very good. Priya also good. Okay. So what about others? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dhruvi 6. What about others? Yeah, Fadil. Very good. It is substance generate antibodies react. Yeah, very good. Okay, Fadil also, Hetalba also the substance which generate the antibody. Hetalba, please add the second part of the sentence. The second part of this, because this ends in this much is your only up to your interval. Okay, but the second half is still there. Second half is it should react with the antibody. Okay, the first one is create, the second one is react. Is that okay, Hetalba? Because the substance you generate antibody, that is not enough the definition of antigen, because you know that interleukin, yeah, very good, interleukins are molecules, they can generate antibody but not react with the antibody. That's why they are not called antigen. So antigen has both the property. The first one, they can create specific antibody, yeah, they can generate specific antibody. The second part of the definition is they must have to react with the specific antibody generated by themselves, not by other antibody, or not other antibodies who were generated by other antigens. So that is the very specific on this scenario. Anyway, so by going on that, this is, we know about that all the things. Okay, now the antigen can be defined as the ability to formation of specific antibody in the individual or animal. Rather than what is your convenient, you can write, it's okay for me. Now the second one is the ability to react specific with the generated antibody, underlined with bracket, with the generated specific antibody, not with all other antibodies present in the animal. We roughly cannot write that it will create antibody and react with antibody. It's okay, it's understandable, but the what is called the logic behind that is the it will generate specific antibody and react with that antibody, not all other antibodies. Okay, so now there are immunogens, we also discussed about that. Now this one is the most important, that is epitope. What is epitope? Look at this in the last para, antigenic determinant or epitope and paratope, we know about that. Epitope, what is epitope? Anyone can? Now I will ask, anyone can unmute and tell me, and to whom I will ask? Nancy. Nancy, please unmute. Nancy, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nancy, who is Nancy? Nancy. Okay, Nehal. Nehal, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please tell me what is epitope and what is paratope.
Epitope is portion of antigen which binds to antibody, and paratope is a portion of antibody which binds to antigen.
Very good, great answer. Yeah, antigen is present on the portion of the antigen which bind with the antibody, or paratope is a portion of antibody which bind with the antigen. Very good. So your great answer. That much is sufficient for you in this class. Okay. So and epitope is otherwise known as your antigen determinant. We have discussed all these things on that. Okay, because in Greek epitope, epi and tope, there are two words combined to form epitope. Epi means non-self, tope means map. That means what are the non-self mapping is the epitope. Yeah, present sir. Okay. Now generally epitope is in case of protein that is 6 to 8 amino acids. In case of carbohydrates it is around 6 to 8 monosaccharide units, because we know that proteins and polysaccharides and nucleoproteins are immunogenic, but the case is nucleic acids and lipids, they not are alone, they are not immunogenic. Nucleic acids and lipid alone cannot be immunogenic, but when they are associated with either protein or carbohydrate, they can be treated as immunogenic or they can be treated as antigen. So generally epitope and paratope both are the same size. Okay. Now if we will discuss it upon the epitope, look at this picture. One is antigen, the bright color portion. This is bright color portion. Left one of the picture is your antigen. The right one is antibody. That was also labeled. Now the bright colors are the antigen antibody interactions there. Then come to the picture B. In the B you can find that there is a bright color portion. Okay. Now that is just like your lock and key theory of enzymes. Okay. In enzymes lock and key theory, you know about that. There is specific enzyme, there is a specific substrate. Okay. That kind of things is also here. Now epitope can bind with the paratope. Okay. Now that is it. Sometimes exam question will come, define epitope and paratope in a single, in a 1 mark 1 liner question. There may concern define epitope and paratope. Sometimes question will come define epitope, sometimes question will come define paratope. Even if sometime question will come define epitope, paratope in the same question. So please be aware about these kind of questions and answers. Now types of epitope. Generally there are two types. One is indeterminate, because antigenic determinant is otherwise known as epitope, the other one is multi-determinant. Okay, in indeterminate, that means if in a particular antigen if one epitope is present, okay, that means based on number of epitope present, the epitope will be two type. One is indeterminate, the other one is multi-determinate. Okay, in indeterminate what happen, there is only one epitope will be present, but in case of multi-determinate, look at this picture. In this picture there are three different epitopes are present. Epitope 1, epitope 2. Mansi, please mute. Mansi, mute yourself. Yeah. So look at the picture. In the first one, the picture is showing that there is presence of only one epitope highlighted in yellow color. Okay, look at the epitope number 2. If a total entire antigen, if one epitope is present, that's unideterminate, yeah, uni-epitope. When there are multiple epitope is present, the same antigen. Look at this picture. One is yellow color, other one is red, and third one is green color. Three different type of epitope is present. If three different type of epitope is present, three different type of what we call antibodies may be also present. Now in this case we will call this a multi-determinant. Okay, indeterminate and other one is multi-determinant. Now based on the again multi-determinant is again two type, overlapping and non-overlapping. Look at the picture. What is overlapping and what is non-overlapping? I have already discussed about that. Please spare 2 to 3 minutes on this slide, then I will ask you questions. In the first one, look at this one. The first one is the first picture is your, just a minute, I will change. look at this. In the first one is, this is A, red color, this is B, it is violet color, now this is D, that is somewhat green color. Look at 1, 2, 3. There are three. Forget about the leveling. Okay, MHC class 2, MHC class 2B, class 2D. Forget about the leveling. Just look at the structure and color. Okay, look at the structure and color. Here there is one epitope A, that is bound by this one. Second, this is your antigen. This is your antigen. Now A, what kind of structure is here? Now it can bound by this red color one. Now come to this one B, violet color V. Look at this. It can bound over because the shape of the antigen and the shape of this is they can bind over here. Now come to the D. Forget about the C. Come to the D. D can bind over here. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3. There three antigens can be bound over here because we are discussing about the multi-determinant. Now here what happened? None of the molecules, none of the epitope is sharing some common features, some common structures with others. They are independently located, and they are distantly located as well. So at the same time, the red A, B and D can bind. Okay, A can bind over here, B can bind over here, and D can bind over here. But in case of a look at here, there is epitope 1 and another epitope is 3. Look at here. In this picture what happened? Suppose this is one epitope. Okay, the other epitope is this much area. Look at this much area is other epitope. Okay, here look at this picture. You can see that this much area is what is called, that means they are sharing this much area. Look at here, this one particular, this much area is having this sharing this structure for epitope 1. Look at here, this area is sharing for epitope 1. Okay, this much area, this is sharing for epitope 1 and epitope 3 as well. When the other antigen 2 will bind over here, that means 1 and 3 they will lose their antigenicity. That means 1 and 3 they are sharing some common structure and they make another type of what is called epitope, that is not overlapping. That means epitope 1 and epitope 3 they are overlapped to each other here. But in this case, these two are independent, there is no problem at all. But here what happened, that means if there is two epitope present adjacent to each other and they are both sharing some common features to each other, that means that the epitope 1 has some features and some features of epitope 1 is also present in epitope 3. That means epitope 1 and 3 they are sharing some common features. That's what happened. So if by the fusing of these two epitopes there is another epitope may generate, and that is known overlapping. Okay, am I clear? Do you have any question on that? If you have a, please chat me. Yeah, if you have a clear, please write over clear here, then I will proceed further. If you are clear, please write over here. Please chat me. Otherwise you can ask me question. I am waiting. Is that clear? Overlapping and non-overlapping, unideterminant and multi-determinant. Is that clear? Am I audible? Dixit, am I audible? Dixit? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shall I proceed? Yeah, you have any question?
No, sir. No question.
Okay, I am waiting. Everyone has to chat here. Please chat me clear. Yeah, answer me clear. Yes, yes. Proceed, sir. Okay. Fadil, proceed, sir. Others? What about others? Am I proceed further? Krishna Bunia proceed. Nehal proceed. Masti proceed. Riya, Priya, Raj. Okay. So who were I will save all the chart conversations. I will save the chart history. Okay. And basing upon I will give you the attendance. Two way you can justify your presence over here. Either you can talk with me or you can chat with me. Yeah, you can answer with me via chat, yeah, via mouth. It's your complete your choice, but you have to. Okay. So anyway, so I will proceed further. Further is that I will come to the next option. Option take second is based upon the structure, because we have classified epitope based on the number of epitope present, two type, unideterminate, multi-determinate again two type, overlapping and non-overlapping. Okay, that is a complete end of the story on the based upon number. But the based on structure, again epitope is three different type. First type is conformational. Okay, conformational determinant. What does it mean? Look at this picture. In this picture, what happened? There is a epitope. Now this epitope is gathered by three different regions of a same amino acid chain. Look at here. In the amino acid, there are three regions. Look at this picture. Okay, in this picture, let me come to just a minute. Okay, in this picture, look at here. There are three different regions are yellow highlighted portions are there. They are come together here. They are come together such a way that they can make a necessary arrangement for epitope. Look at here. When the three regions are close proximity to each other, when they are adjacent to each other, they can treated as a epitope. Okay, as you know that when I will heat, okay, heat up to 60-70 degrees Celsius, yeah, by any denatured treatment, then that means this protein get denatured. If denatured, that means the three-dimensional structure, yeah, secondary structure of the, yeah, tertiary structure of the protein get denatured. That means it will come to the primary structure of the protein. Primary structure means just amino acid chain. Okay, nascent amino acid chain. Look at here. That means they have separated. The regions are separated. Now what happened? The epitope has lost. Now that is the what he called that kind of epitope is called as conformational epitope. Yeah, conformational determinant. So what is conformational determinant? When the antigenic determinant the lost its antigenicity, yeah, lost its determinant, yeah, lost its epitope upon a denaturation. Denaturation may be any type, any kind. There are several type of denaturation is here, but as for your understanding, you can say that you are heating. Okay, if you are heating the protein, okay, to some extent that may denature. Okay, there are some other agents are also there. That is not none of our discussion topic. But denaturation. Okay, be careful. Denaturation is not degradation. Okay, denaturation means we are just we are just relaxing the tertiary, quaternary, secondary structure of the protein. But degradation means that the proteinity cleavage we are degrading. Okay, here amino acid cannot be separated, but that they may be separated. Okay, that is just thing, just that is thing of the conformational determinant. Okay, so am I clear? Conformational determinant. Any question from anyone? Simple. Conformational determinant means when I will denature the protein, denature the antigen, the epitope has lost, antigenicity has lost by the antigen. That is, the antigenicity is no more antigen, epitope is present there. Am I clear? I am waiting for your chart. Am I clear means you have to answer via chat. Yeah. Now I call the second one. The second one is linear determinant. Here that is the simple one. Simple one is in linear what happen? Denaturation in the when I will heat a denature by any means, antigenicity cannot lost. Antigenicity is as it is. Okay. Look at here. Look at here, in this case there is a accessible determinant, the accessible determinant that is your in blue color. Here upon denaturation that is as it is, okay, that is not degraded, yeah, not lost, that the as it is. But in case what happen, the another thing is that if some hidden epitope, if hidden epitope is present, because you know that sometimes what happen, protein molecules, they are embedded inside the another protein molecule. Okay, in that case what happen, one protein molecule is inside and the that is covered by another protein molecule. In that case what happen, if the first protein molecule which is inside the second protein molecule, now the first protein molecule, if there is some kind of epitope is present, here what happen, just like the yellow color one, look at the yellow color one, it may come to the outside because they are denatured. Now the single protein molecule get converted into two different chains because the single protein molecule is not a same, not a single molecule, that is what he called, that is formed by two different amino acid chains. Now here what happened, both the chains get separated and the first one which is already inside the second protein molecule, now that has another epitope, now this epitope has come outside. Now that is the linear determinant. The linear determinant is that kind of determinant when I will go for denature, the epitope antigenicity is as it is. It is not affected by antigenicity. Even if what happen, so if some hidden epitope is present inside that protein molecule, they come up outside. Here no new antigen determinant has been formed. No new antigenic. I will repeat. I am repeating again. No new antigenic determinant come here. The thing is that if something hidden epitope is present inside the protein molecule, due to denaturation that hidden portion is come up. Okay, that is the linear. Am I clear this one? Am I clear? You have any question? I am waiting. If you have any question, Darshak today is here. Darshak, please unmute. Darshak, Ramani, Piyush, please unmute yourself, please. I think you
Yes, sir.
you are attending first class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are from
Rajkot.
Rajkot. Okay, so okay. So I will talk to you later on. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So next is that third one is new antigenic determinant. Okay. Now what do you mean a new antigen determinant? Neo. Look at here. There is two. One is NEO. It is come from NEW. That means new, completely new. New antigen determinant. Here look at this. What happened? In the initially in this protein has no antigen determinant. Okay, initially the protein has don't have any kind of epitope, but when I will go for proteolytic cleavage, yeah, hydrolysis, proteolytic hydrolysis, look at here, when I will cut with this by using some kind of proteolytic enzymes, look at here, then what happened, now due to what is called, due to the proteolytic cleavage of some kind of enzymes, what happen, there is a carboxyl in the amino termination. In the carboxylic end, just I will give you example. Example is that if there is a protein molecule, look at here, now just I have drawn that the protein molecule, if this protein molecule is here, there is 6 glycine residue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now there are 6 glycine residues are there. Okay, just this is example. Okay, now the 6 glycine residue, when the 6 glycine residues are present in the any end, either amino end या carboxylic end of a protein, suppose carboxylic end of a protein molecule, that can be treated as a epitope. Condition, and this is just an example, not universal, this is just example for your understanding. If there is 6 glycine residues present in the carboxylic end, any end, just a carboxylic end of a protein molecule, that may be treated, that may be act as a antigen determinant, yeah, epitope. Okay, not in between. Condition is when it is present continuous 6 glycine residues at the carboxylic end, then only it can be treated as a epitope. Now what happened? The 6 glycine residues are present in between, suppose present somewhere here. Okay, is it treated as epitope? As per my condition, if these glycine residues are present somewhere here in between the chain, in between the amino acid chain, is it can be treated as epitope? I will ask same question. Darshak, Mr. Audience, Darshak, Vivian, Vector या Victor, Vivek, roll number 48, Vivek. No, you have to unmute. To whom I am asking, they have to unmute their mic and tell me via mouth, not via finger. Because I want to assure you are listening to me. Tanya, Shruti Khokar, Shruti Khokar,
Yes, sir.
please. If the condition is there if 6 glycine residues are present at the carboxylic end of a protein molecule, that can be treated as a epitope. Now if the 6 glycine residues are present in between, is it treated as a epitope? Yeah, not as per my condition. Anyone from the audience? Unmute and tell me. No chat. No one can answer this. Who is this DK? Who is Mr. DK? Please rename yourself next lecture onwards. Okay, and there were many students, they beautifully named their name and in bracket their roll number. It's good. Okay, it's good for taking attendance. Tejas, I think, am I audible? First question. Tejas, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
So why you are not answering me? You have to answer. It may be wrong, may be right. You have to answer, because if you are not answering me, it can be treated as you are arrogant. It should not be there. You have to answer. Okay. If you are giving me answer, it may be right, it may be wrong, may be partial right, may be partial wrong. Okay, it's no matter. If you are giving a wrong answer, I will correct you. It's okay. I'm expecting you have to answer, even if it may be wrong. Okay, that is the what you call fundamental thing I am looking from your side. Okay, you have to answer me. Is it clear? Is that clear? This is for all of you. You have to answer me. I am not here bombarding and bombarding. You are listening. This should be two-way two-way communications. Now I come to Dia. Dia,
Yes, sir.
it can be treated as an antigen determinant or not if the 6 residues are present in between. Who will give this answer? Please, voluntarily. No one? Kennedy? Mr. Kennedy Tessa. Masti? Hmm. It, is it treated as an antigen determinant or not? No, yeah, yes. No. So why you are not answering? If I will give the audience, you have to answer. Okay. So it is now not treated as antigen determinant. Okay. Now when I will cut over here, okay. Now come to here. When I will cut over here, what happen? Now these glycine residue are present in the end of the now GGG and GGG. Now what happened? These 6 glycine residues, they are present at the end, in the carboxyl end of the amino acid chain. Now it can be treated as a epitope. Now here what happened? Initially there was not a epitope initially because these 6 are present inside. Now what happened? Due to proteolytic cleavage, what happened? Now our new antigen determinant has formed. That's why it is known as new antigenic determinant. Okay, that's why it is called as new antigenic determinant. Okay, is that clear? So basic upon this is the epitope and type of epitope. Okay, is that clear? So now this ends our epitope structure. Now classification epitope. Sometimes question will come in 8-mark question. What is epitope? And briefly describe classification of epitope. So here you have to describe that epitope. What is epitope means? It is the present on the surface of the antigen where antivirate of antibody can bind. Now according to it is something around 6 to 8 amino acid. In case of protein epitope, antigen, if it is carbohydrate, it can be 6 to 8 monosaccharide units. Now basing upon the number of epitope present, the epitope is 2 type. One is univalent, other is multivalent. Multivalent is again 2 type: overlapping, non-overlapping. Now based upon structure, there are 3 different types: conformational, linear, and new antigenic. Conformational, you have to give this example. Linear, you have to give this example, and you may go for drawing. You can write as well as per your convenience. You have to justify, and I have to understand. That's all. Okay. Is that clear? Do you have any question? Otherwise, you can chat clear. You can chat clear. Okay. So next, I will not go further. I think I will stop over here. Okay. Now I will share you the properties of antigen. I think I will discuss about this one here also. In property, there are 4 different properties. Okay. There is molecular size, as I discussed. 1000 Dalton is lowest limit. Second one is the self non-self. We know about that. body's own antigen, yeah, body's own molecule can be treated as a self. The other, if the molecules enter somewhere other, that is known as your what you call non-self. Okay, again non-self is that we know that greater Phylon distance, greater immune response. We have already discussed in the class. In chemical complexity, we know that the homopolymers, the heteropolymers are more efficient than homopolymer. At the same time, we know lipopolysaccharide is more strong immunogen. We know about that. Now entry route, we know about that in the Langerhans cells present in the skin, the macrophages present in the skin. That's why those antigens are entering through the subcutaneous cutaneous layer, that is the more immunogenic rather than when we are entering something in intravenously. Yeah, that is the thing. So we have discussed about general properties of antigen as well. This table is for your information. Okay, now I will stop over here. But before that, I am sharing the attendance link. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me. Meanwhile, I am sharing the attendance link. Okay, now you have to complete now. Did you get the link? Because it will take hardly 2 minutes and still there is 5 minutes. Yeah, please complete. The first one is in the link I have said in a Google form. The Google form, first one is select your enrollment number. Be careful, you have to select your enrollment number only, not someone else. Okay, second one, just there MCQ. Second one, there is what is your name and your class SA1 or SA2, then to date, then feedback of today's lecture. You have to fill up that one as well. If you have not understand something, you please write over there. Okay, anything that is just for you have not understanding something, you write over there, so that I can conclude at the end which topic I have to what is called revise. Okay, that is for your purpose. Okay, remarks and feedback today's lecture, that is only and only for if you don't understand any topic, you can write there. Okay, so till now responses are, because around 53 people are present there, 53 students are present over there, 55, yeah, 55 are present over there, but now I have received how much? 39. Please, I am waiting. After completion, you can leave the meeting. If you have completed your what you call attendance, you can leave the meeting and join to the next session. दर्शक सर लिंक ओपन नहीं थी। नहीं बेटा, लिंक तो
Yes, sir.
बाकी का तो लिंक तो ओपन हो रहा है, मेरा पास तो रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है। आपका नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब अपना लिंक मतलब ये चेक करो, इंटरनेट चेक करो, अदरवाइज आप मारवाड़ यूनिवर्सिटी का लॉगिन से खोलो।
ओके सर।
मारवाड़ यूनिवर्सिटी का है ना, क्योंकि आप बाहर के नहीं कर सकते हो।
ठीक है
जीवा,
सर, चलो देखता हूँ।
देख लो। द लिंक इज आस्किंग, आपका रोल नंबर क्या है दर्शक? जीवा, द लिंक इज आस्किंग फॉर परमिशन। जीवा, जीवा आप मारवाड़ यूनिवर्सिटी से भेजो। यू हैव टू, या हाँ, देन आपको परमिशन लेना नहीं पड़ेंगे। Otherwise, if you are facing any problem, you just WhatsApp me your roll number, because I have already take the photograph of who were present over here. I will mark them. Okay. Yeah, I think I have received 55 responses. Okay, great, good. Now you can leave the meeting. You will join for next session. Okay. Still there is 5 minutes for your relaxation. You can relax and join the next session. Thank you. Thank you for listening me. Okay. Okay. Have a great day. Bye.